Hi, everyone.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hi, I hope you all can hear me. Welcome to the Journey Live.
Welcome.
So I just want to introduce the space and then I'll introduce myself and my co-host, and we'll get right to it. So basically, this space is for us to hold conversations with people who are making an impact in their communities through entrepreneurship. We really want to dive into their stories and talk not only about their triumphs, but challenges that they had to work to overcome. And you know what, Rich? I think this space is really important because a lot of us weren't really given the blueprint for not only finding our passions, but what to do when we do find it and how do we build around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Or we don't have the connections or the
Mhm.
resources. So I feel like this is like a really great opportunity for us to connect and to share information. And I hope that the stories that we bring you all are relatable, and maybe we can highlight some businesses that you've never heard about or some services that you weren't aware of. And you could probably support the founders, or connect with them to see if they can provide you with some more information. So there's something for everyone here, whether you have no idea what you're doing with
Right.
your life, or if you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together like I am, or you have a dream and you're actively pursuing it, you're welcome here. The Journey Live will happen every second and fourth Wednesday and is brought to you by Spirit of Praise Ministry Atlanta, which is my home. And we will hopefully have this consistently every second and fourth Wednesday. So get comfortable, get your favorite beverage, have some tea. I have my tea here. And again, I am Vanessa McDonald, and I'm here with my co-host, Richardson Bellevoix.
Hey, hey,
And
hey, guys.
we also have our first guest, so we're going to get right into the introduction.
Yes, yes. Our first guest for the show today is going to be Dr. Kia Fisher, which is a friend of the ministry, a friend of ours as well. And I just want to give a brief bio on who she is. Dr. Kia Fisher is a clinical therapist and certified transformational life coach and holds a doctoral degree in psychology. Dr. Kia Fisher has 10 years of experience as a clinical therapist. That's good. Prior to that, she was an educator in the area of early childhood education. So from K to 6, she was an early childhood educator. Dr. Kia Fisher decided to follow the path of counseling when she realized the at-risk children she was teaching had deep issues that negatively impacted their academics. Currently, she has a ministry and a business providing life coaching, counseling, wellness planning for children, youth, and adults. And Dr. Fisher also provides workshops, and she's a motivational speaker. Dr. Fisher is an author, keynote speaker, mother of 3 beautiful children, and a wife of a supportive husband. She's involved in several charities that support those who deal with trauma like human sex trafficking, domestic violence, and etc. Her testimony and her gifts serves those who have gone through those type of traumas. And for anybody that may know who Dr. Kia Fisher is and know her story, you can understand exactly how she can relate to those who have been dealing with those type of tragedies. And one thing that we all know, Dr. Kia is not your traditional therapist at
No, she's
all.
not.
She is not your traditional therapist. So her focus is to heal and help her clients create a life where they can be their best and live their best life unapologetically. So let's go ahead and bring Dr. Kia
Yeah.
Fisher in here with us.
I'm so excited for this conversation.
Yes, there
Hey,
you go.
girl. Oh, you're on mute. Unmute your microphone. Yes. Oh, wait. Can you hear
Yeah,
her?
we still can't
Oh,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Hold on.
Okay, we'll give you a second. Okay, it looks like your mute button is on again.
Hold on. Let's see here.
Gotcha. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, awesome.
Welcome, Dr. Kia
Hey.
Fisher. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
That is great. It's great seeing you again. It's great for us to have this conversation, because I know it's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
moment with Kia Fish is always interesting.
I know, because you're such a multi-layered person. And when thinking of interviewing you, it's like, well, what did we ask her about? Because
I know,
girl,
right?
we could be here for hours. We can talk about all the things that you're into and all the insights that you have. So hopefully we can have a nice conversation that touches a little bit on everything.
Okay, I try to be on my best behavior. Okay?
Girl, be yourself.
Man, be free. This is why this is why the show is here for, man. Be free, and for us to educate those young folks out there that are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs or business owners. So to jump off the interview, let's go ahead and share what your business is about. Like, how did you get started? Why did you decide to leave education and pursue this as a passion and pursue this as a ministry and as a business?
Ooh, that's a compacted question, but I will try to answer it as simple as I can. So when I went to school for my undergrad, I went thinking, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do education, but I also want to help people. I knew that I had a gift of helping, of serving. I knew that for as much as possible in regards to what I wanted to go for. I knew it wasn't nursing and those other helping fields, but I knew that I had a gift of speaking, inspiring, and because of my testimony. So I went for an interdisciplinary degree for my undergrad. By the time I got to my master's, I was like, okay, I'll continue with education, but I got a employment with an at-risk school. And while being at the at-risk school, no matter how much I taught, they could not forget about the things that was happening at home. And it was like a barrier, whether it's poverty, whether anger issues at home, domestic violence that these kids were dealing with, or developmental issues that they were having. And no one was really paying attention to them, right? So while going there, I went back to school. I'm a lifelong learner, what they call it. I love school. I love learning different things. As you can tell, I have a bunch of certifications because I love going to school. And I decided to go while, of course, working at this at-risk school. And then I decided to try for a position as a behavioral health counselor. Well, back then it wasn't called counselor, but you would work under supervision until you finish getting your certifications, your license. And just being there, I knew I fit in. And I've been there ever since. I was an employee there. Now I'm a contractor for 9 years there. So I know this is where I belong. I know this is what God called me to do. So that's what made me get my doctoral degree in psychology. And I got a whole bunch of other certifications because of the type of people that I serve and what I believe in regards to how to minister and to heal people with wholeness, physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I love how, you identified your passion, through these different roads that you were taken to. But there's identifying your passion and then turning it into a business. So if you could share with us, did you have a light bulb moment in starting your own business? Share with us a little bit about that.
Well, my light bulb moment was my mom. I ended up having to take care of my mom. She had Alzheimer's, dementia first, and then it went into Alzheimer's. And she passed away in 2018. Before that, I couldn't help thinking she's worked basically 50 years. And because I took care of her, I saw her finances after retirement. And I said, how do you expect to live off of this?
Right.
So when I saw the money that was coming in, I had to compensate some of it in order to get her the care that she needed. And I'm like, if this is what you're working 50 years, my mom used to work 2 jobs because she's a single parent, right? And this is what you do for 50 years to end up like this. Still still on the end of, or in middle class, if you want to call it, or lower class in some ways, the money she was getting. I said, I don't want to live like that. and I don't want my kids to have to suffer. You know.
Yeah. Oh wait, I think we lost sound again.
Sorry, that's probably all coming in.
There we go.
So so that was my light bulb moment when she passed away. I said, I don't want this, and I don't want my kids to have to deal with that. I want to build a legacy, and I want to be able to allow my kids to not have to dip into their pockets to take care of them.
I'm really happy that you had that realization, because oftentimes I find in our families, especially in Black families, we don't really communicate about finances.
Right.
So whatever our parents were not able to resolve, it affects us, eventually. And sometimes we discover this in times of tragedy, like you did, or when in times that are just too difficult for us to really, settle in with it. So thank you for sharing that. That was an important story.
No problem.
Yeah, it was very, very, very important to share. So my question to you is like, how long have you been in business? Like how long, talk about the beginning part, the journey that it took you to get to where you are right now, like from the beginning, and how long you've been in business, and what challenges did you face when you started your business?
Well, one thing I will tell your viewers is very important to know what your passion is, because that's the only thing that's going to drive you to get up and do what you got to do when it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? And from the beginning, I will tell you, it was like, I've been doing therapy now almost 11 years, and only 2 years have I been in straight business for myself. Before that, I was doing things here and there, but I still had a position at the place that I now contract for. I was still an employee there, but I did little things on the side, speaking engagements and different things. And I would say that was the piece that helped out a lot, where it wasn't stressful. You still had your main job, but you still worked on your dreams. You still did things in order to build yourself, right? I found that a lot of times I had the education and I knew what I was capable of, but I didn't have the courage. And every time that I had a gig, I would drag a friend along with me that was in the same field as I was. Like, can you come and do this with me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
That fear.
Yeah, that's the fear, that, hey, I have it, but I could speak. I'm very free with it. That's just my natural. But something in me said I couldn't do this alone. Like, I can't go out there alone, And with that fear, and then being the person who helped other people build their stuff, and I'm seeing myself build someone else, helping someone else, but not pouring into me.
To yourself.
Yeah. I had to really sit back and say, to myself, listen, I gotta leap. I can't be out here motivating people saying to go get yours, and I'm here like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, and if we're gonna talk real, and my husband don't have a problem with me saying this, he'll tell anybody, I'm the breadwinner. So if I decide to go and say I'm gonna take this on and forget about the 9 to 5, well, I wasn't 9 to 5 really. As a therapist, you make your own hours, but I was done with this. I'm gonna do my thing, but then I got this to pay, that to pay, 3 kids, and although he got some things down pat, there's 2 incomes consistent.
I know, that's like shaking the table.
It took a lot, but passion will drive you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And how I got over that was just, hey, I'm going to have, my husband and I had a little, we call our pillow talk meeting. And I told him, I'm going to take a year to go hard for me while still going hard at the place that pays the bills.
Right.
That way he knows I'm not neglecting.
Yeah.
Some things around in order to see where I'm going to go with.
Yeah. Actually, sidebar question about that. Like, how did that change the dynamic of your family? If you're okay talking about that.
Sure, girl,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
You
just
always
about to
gotta put a
segue.
disclaimer just in
I
case
know.
today's not the day.
I was just about to segue into that too, to talk about her family support.
Yeah.
How does that, as
Well,
Vanessa said, how does that work in? How does that tie in? How's that support system for you
you
to
got
help you make that decision?
you got to know your spouse.
Yeah.
My husband is 110% behind me.
Oh.
He
Wow,
is
that's
my
wonderful.
biggest cheerleader. He was the one who told me to leave where I'm at and go do what I gotta do. And we're like, okay,
Nice.
we gotta focus.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But his thing was always he was my hardest critic. He is my hardest critic, but he's my biggest supporter. So he's always, if
Isn't
you go
it funny how they could do that?
you want to cut them out and you
Because
want
sometimes you be like, I didn't ask you for all of
But
that.
sometimes you need that. You need that person that's gonna be like, hey,
realness.
trying to critique what you're doing, but
Uh-huh.
but you know that they have your back, because
Yeah.
there's some people around you that will say they have your back, but they're really critiquing you really hard,
So true.
behind
So true.
closed doors. But to have that support system in your husband to say,
Yeah.
hey, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. We're gonna be 100% behind you.
Yeah.
It's something wonderful right there.
And that is very important, because as a therapist, going in your own lane and trying to build your dreams while having a spouse can do, if that spouse is not behind you,
Right.
So having that was a plus for me. And he would always say to me, if you're going to do something, that's how he talked. If you're going to do something, the Panamanian New Yorker.
Yeah.
No.
If you're going to do something, go all out. Don't sugarcoat nothing. Don't half step. Go all out. And I think not wanting to hear his mouth could me as well.
I know, because you don't want to come back and be like, well, I didn't really put that much effort. You don't want to say that.
Yeah, and he used to get tired of me saying, oh, I'm gonna drag so and so with me to go do this, speaking engagement. And then after a while, to be truth be told, you start seeing even the people that you're taking with you switch up on you.
Okay.
I believe that God allowed that to happen so you can stand on your own. And I'm grateful for that, because that's how I made my own platform. I didn't have to lean on anybody.
Yeah.
With the social media, with the speaking engagements and everything, I had my own events.
Yeah.
For people to come to,
Yeah.
So that's how I started. I started with a husband who was a critic and a supporter. And it was a year of class for me in entrepreneurship. I had to learn how to market, how to say no to certain things that don't align with what I'm trying to do. Not be greedy and just see, oh, I want to do that. You got to stay with everything that aligns, and I had to learn that the first year. The second year was a breeze. This is the second year. 2020 was the second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You did mention God, you did mention your faith. So how does that play into your business? How does your faith play into how you structure your business, how you run your business?
Well, I got to give credit where credit is due. The events that I had and the appointments that I had were mostly at church or a Christian event, whether it's talking in the evening for an AY, or talking for morning divine hour, or having a retreat for women, because I was a women's ministry for one of the church that I attended, and those are the platforms that I had that allowed me to see my strengths and for other people to see me. And a church sister, she's like, I call her mom, because my mom passed away. She took over, even though, but she took over, and she put me out there in a lot of things, because she was family life leader, and she allowed me to head up certain things, and it allowed me to blossom into being comfortable with speaking in front of people that may not be the raunchy type of people.
Yeah.
Even though I ain't switched up. But it taught me different ways to introduce myself and to educate those who may not be like me, you know.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
Yeah.
So, and when it comes to faith, I am one of, it's crazy because I had fear, but I am the biggest, my husband will tell you, when it comes to me and my faith, it's no joke. I manifest everything. It's gonna happen, and it will happen, you know.
Right.
That's why people are like, you're always doing something. I said, because I know it's gonna happen, you
Yeah,
know.
Right.
yeah.
That's always been my focus, and I always take from, you know, knowing the plans that God has for me. That has always been in the forefront of my brain to know that he has plans for me, not to hurt me or harm me, but to allow me to grow and to get what he has for me. So, you know, that's where my faith lies. Never shaking in my faith. I always give honor to God to where I'm at.
Amen.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you talked a little bit about what your first year of business looked like. How does that compare to where you are now and the services that you're providing? Can you tell us a little bit more about the nitty gritty about what you do?
It's bittersweet. And why I say that is because everybody know what 2020 did, you know?
Yes.
And in my field, 2020 basically went into overdrive with different type of diagnosis that some clients have.
Okay. Like
So
what?
anxiety, the depression,
Okay.
the PTSD,
Mhm.
loneliness, you know, even relationships that were, you know, forced to be confined to a place for a very long time, and they're
Mm.
used to not being in each other's face for very, you know, for that amount of time, and now we're forced to and don't know how to handle it. So marriage is being broken. So although it boosted my business, hard to, you know, see people go through the things that they went through, but all things are, you know, for a reason. And I feel like, to be honest, the people that God you know, aligns me to, connected me to, the gift that he gave me allowed me to help a lot of people.
That's awesome.
So I went from maybe 2019 here or there, you know, booking, but like I said, I had a contract with an agency, so I never suffered. But 2020, I barely have any time.
Wow.
Barely have any,
Wow.
and
That's
a lot of things came with that too.
But that's good to hear, because like I was sharing with Vanessa, like the impact that COVID-19 has had, not only health wise on community and the minority community, but on the Black businesses, man.
Yeah.
To hear that your business actually, you know, as you said, bittersweet, it took another level. It went up to another level.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, compared to what other Black owned businesses are actually going through or went through COVID. And some of them may not even be able to survive, even if, you know, like, you know, we're just hoping that the government can do something about the issues that a lot of these Black owned businesses, or, you know, small businesses in general. But as a people, we've been really been affected by COVID-19, and to hear that that you did so well is
It's a
favor.
line of
That
business.
favor, man.
It's favor, but it's kind of like being a doctor or a nurse in the health
Right.
field. You know, you're in the line of fire. You know,
Right.
it's a mental, emotional line of fire. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, I love it. I love what I do. I could do it for free if I could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. But you know, even Black businesses, some of them are my clients. You know, because they're coping. You know,
Yeah.
so it's a catch-22.
Yeah. And to
It's a
put
catch.
into context what Richardson was talking about, we looked up an MSNBC article that stated that already before COVID, 8 out of 10 Black owned businesses fail within 18 months.
Yeah.
But then when you add COVID to that, Black-owned businesses declined by 41% between February and April of 2020 alone.
Yeah.
Compare that to white businesses that only declined by 17%. So this is kind of a testament to what you survived in 2020, that, thankfully you weren't in that number. But then this reminds me, as you talk about like the effects of constantly working has done.
Yeah.
How does the therapist take care of herself?
And I can't fly nowhere. I'm just
yeah, what is the self-care plan for the therapist?
Yeah, it's my off time. Traveling is my off time, and I could not travel. It was really hard. I will not lie to you. During the whole Black Lives, my business is catered to people of color. So, the whole Black Lives Matter thing really took a toll on me. But because I couldn't fly or what have you, I had to do some of the things I tell my own clients to do. That's meditate. I meditate every morning. I will take a day off. I will force myself to take a day off and everybody off that one day and put them somewhere else if I feel like I'm depleted, and I turn off the TV, dance, play music in my house, I do things to uplift my mood, but then I do things to allow myself to calm down, because the truth of the matter is, a therapist who knows, especially an empath. I'm an empath. I feel everything. When you gotta say time out. I think that's the most important thing, is to know when to say time out, and to take that. I used to not be able to, and have breakdowns, and now being seasoned in this, I learned how to say no. I learned how to take time out. I know how, clients that I know that maybe I'm not the right one for them, I know how to say, I can refer you to somebody else. So those are the things that you need to know in order to take care of your mental and your spiritual wellness as a therapist, and physical wellness.
Okay. So we see so many versions of Kia. We see so many avenues of Kia, fitness Kia, magical garden Kia. It's like you as you said, you always go in 100. So break down the different avenues, everything that you're pursuing, and I know because I follow you on Instagram. So I see the fitness, I see the garden, magical garden, I see the therapy stuff that you do. Even when you do post some of your, when you have the women stuff, and even Vanessa attended some of your events too, when she was here in Atlanta. So like just talk about those different
meditation.
Talk about those different avenues that you're pursuing, because you have so many different passions and you're pursuing all of them at the same time. How do you balance your time out? As you said, you go 100 all the time. So talk about those different pursuits.
Well, that's another thing that I had to learn. I grew up with a mom who worked. That's all she did. So that's all I saw. So that's all I know. And I had to relearn how to be a wife. Well, I had to learn how to be a wife. I had to learn how to be a mother, and how to balance what I wanted for myself, my legacy, with my responsibilities as a wife and a mother. And everything that I do, if you take notice, everything that I do, although they're in some way separated, they're all still connected. My magical garden healing, the symbol is a lotus flower. That's the basically the petals of the lotus flower represents the things that I am in business to heal, that I have the gift to heal. So when it comes to your emotional or your mental, that's the therapeutic side of what I have to offer. When it comes to sexual wellness, I have a sexual wellness page. A lot of people don't know that, but I do.
They know now.
And that is part of healing as well, in relationships, and even people who's been through trauma. It's connected. Women who have dealt with sickness, fibroids, and stuff like that. It's all connected in relationships. Then you have the physical side. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing feedback. I don't know if that's my side or your side, but yeah, the physical side. Oh, it's gone. The physical side, and that is basically the products that I carry. 2020 birth products.
Oh, okay.
And so it's women wellness for me. So my line is Womanist, and Womanist sells athletic gear, everything to do with self-love, and then wellness, which is the yoni steam, the yoni products all together, so all of the things that I do. Fitness is I am a personal trainer, but I don't do that as a business,
Gotcha.
that's my personal page. I just like to inspire, and that's what I do, but everything that I do come together. The rule in my house now is don't answer the phone after 10. After 10, it's all, I cannot answer the phone. And that took some time. People know my phone is like my lifeline, but
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock, I still do date nights with my husband. I didn't do it before. I now know how to balance that. We pray together every Sunday to start our week. So certain things I'm still, implementing and still doing in order to make. And we have our pillow talk once a month. It's our meeting in the room where we talk about different things. Whatever he feels he's lacking or I'm lacking, we come up with solutions.
That's
to deal
great.
with.
That's very, very great.
Awesome.
The plus of dealing with a therapist, but
Yeah. And
At least he gets some free therapy sessions. You know what I mean?
He does. But then when I start acting like a therapist, can you take off the therapy hat?
Hell.
But
That's funny. And for everyone watching, we will post Kia's website information so that you can read more about all of these things that she just mentioned. So my next question is, what advice would you give to someone who is looking to start a business?
I think I wrote that down because I knew I wanted to give some advice. Let me make sure. I think the main thing is to believe in yourself and to know what it is that you're passionate about. Everybody can sell makeup, cosmetics. Everybody coming out with a line of cosmetics. But if it's not your passion,
it won't work.
It won't work. You won't last. Find whatever it is that you're passionate about that you can do, even if you didn't get paid for it.
Right.
And push it to the point where you want to be better than what you see out there. What I've learned and what someone told me, and I take it to heart, and I've been doing it, is find someone in the field that you're in, or where you want to be in the field that you're in, and follow everything they did to get to that point. Meaning, you don't have to be like them, but the characteristics that they have, the things that they go for, the things that they do, study it. Because it's better to have that example and know, okay, I want to get there. And if this person got there, how did they get there? I'm going to follow those steps instead of following people or listening to people. That's not where you want to be. I would definitely tell people, be mindful of the people that you follow. Make sure you focus on the ones that are in the space or have experience or where you want to be. I also say, be careful of the people in your space. Very important to have people that are supportive. And sometimes it's best to allow God to bring them to you than you to seek them out. Why I say this is because
that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I learned that, honey. And when you are hungry and you want to have your face out there, you be friends with everybody. End up with the wrong people because they don't care about what you want. They just using you for what they need you for,
right.
or whatever, but they don't really want to tell you the business, or they don't really want to tell you what you need to do. It's all about what you can do for them. But when God brings you people, it's people who see something in you and want you to flourish. And those are the people that you want to pay attention to.
Okay.
All the people that's in my space, I never had to seek. In my space that had taught me, I never sought out. They came to me. And up to this day, there are still people who either refer me, people who big me up or support in some kind of way, even if it's to buy a $10 soap, which I buy, which I sell. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, be mindful of the people that you have around me and the people that you listen to.
Yeah. I like that, because I feel like there's the advice is pushed to people, like when you're trying to do something, is like network. So I think that provides a different perspective,
especially when,
for us to consider.
Especially when you have faith. If you have faith that God will bring it to you, there's no need for you to push your way to find people that you think will help you out. Sometimes that energy is not the energy God wants you to have.
Right.
Allow him to give you what you need. If he will supply all your needs, I don't think out there. Kind of going back and looping to me wanting people to come with me to go and do a retreat with me or engagement with me. And I promise you, and I tell you no lies, when I let go of that mentality, I went up.
Wow.
Because you're connected to people that's not supposed to go there with you. When you do it yourself.
So you're basically saying, like, do the work and operate in your purpose.
Yeah.
And then God will bring whoever along on the journey.
That's a nugget, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all listening. I'm hoping y'all writing this stuff down. That's nuggets. She's dropping nuggets here, man. And once again, all her contact information will be in the description. Once we're done here, it's most likely probably already in the description right now, or even in the chat. Even if you guys have some questions, if y'all want to throw some questions out in the chat, go ahead and throw some questions in the chat if you have any questions for Dr. Kia, and then we can relay those questions to her as well if we didn't touch a topic that you guys may be interested in hearing her perspective on. But yeah, go ahead, Vanessa. Let's see here.
All right. So, okay. I think everyone can contact you via website. Can you also shout out any social media pages that you're on, or other ways that people can reach you outside of your website?
Sure. Okay. So on IG, I have my sexual wellness page, and that page is for people grown.
Yeah.
People, it's public. I am going to open up a group on Facebook, but it's for people who, you know, singles or married who want, I'm about sexual liberation. You know, growing up in a Caribbean household with Caribbean family, we didn't talk too much about that.
No.
And a lot of problems can arise when you don't talk about stuff like that. You know? So on my page, you'll see a lot of information regarding relationships, how to love, body image, and just like that. And that is red_velvet_lips 69, I believe it is. I don't want to lie to you. And then the other one is Dr. Kia _my_magical_garden. And
there it goes right there.
It's on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, on the bottom of the screen right there.
Yes. And that's where you get all your inspiration and all your motivation in regards to life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And I'm on Facebook as well as Dr. Kia Fisher page or Kia Fisher. And you'll get the same thing there. I don't change.
Consistency, huh? That's probably another nugget right there for them young folks out there that want to get into their business. Yes, she's very consistent.
Yes.
Very, very consistent. So you're in the bio, the information you gave us, you said you're an author. I remember Set Me Free was one of your first books, right? I think it was Even Me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my bio. Mhm.
Yes, that's your bio. And then I think I saw something else drop on social media the
What
other
is
day.
it?
Ooh.
Elaborate on what's going on with that one
That's
I
too.
think just
another thing.
yesterday you might have
It was
made a post
yesterday.
about that.
Yeah, you know what I
That's
mean?
another thing I'm trying to do. My husband is like, don't say nothing until it drops. Don't be going out there and telling people, because what if you don't, so I didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Notice I did not talk about it. It just dropped yesterday. So even me is, I did a play about that, about my testimony, my trauma, and so
Yeah, I
forth.
remember the play.
That
I was there. I saw that. It was a good play.
was,
It was a good play. I
yeah,
remember
that's my
that one.
truth.
Mm.
Right. And so that's even me. And it was my therapy. It was my therapy. I was just writing, and that was it. And then someone came to me and wanted to do the play. Well, I went to a play and I asked two young men if they were interested, and I gave them the book and I told them whatever, whatever. And then they said they wanted to do it, and that's how the play happened. And then the one that dropped yesterday, I'm a co-author in No More. Oh, don't let me lie to you. Oh God, don't let me lie to you. But it's basically a book of testimonies regarding things that women have gone through, whether it's domestic violence, trauma, whatever it is. And we all got together and told our stories. That's the book. And then we also have an audio coming out.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
And in I shouldn't say this, but in May, I always drop something in my birth month. And in May, I'm dropping
Yes, May birthday.
Yes, girl, May babies.
Yes.
But in May, I'm dropping my book, that audiobook, and it's called Pain to Power.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think I found the information about your
The second book, the
yeah,
co-author book,
it's
it just came like boggled.
what is it? No More Silence.
No
That's
More
what it is,
Silence.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
put
yeah.
that information in the box in the description box too.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yes,
launch is
most
on
definitely.
the launch is
Most
on the
definitely.
20th of February.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So to wrap up the show, I want to do some rapid fire questions with you.
Ooh, this is the second
Some
show I've been
fun.
on a rapid fire.
Oh, really?
I hope you're ready. I hope
More
you're ready.
fun.
Oh,
you're
God.
ready.
Is this the same one where you got to answer with one words or two?
Yeah, or it could be a phrase.
Okay.
Could be a phrase.
Yeah, you
Easy,
can elaborate if you want to, but you're not supposed to think too hard about it. Like whatever comes first to mind. And they're all fun and hopefully easy. So just so that people can get to know you better. Okay. All right. First one. What Caribbean food item can you not live without?
Jeez, ackee and saltfish.
What do you do? What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Oh man, that's why. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Some days,
Okay.
I pray with my husband.
All right.
Another prayer.
Enough said.
Enough said. I think we know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right. What's the last TV show that you binged and loved?
What's that one? Oh gosh. See, I always watch CNN and MSNBC, but this week I watched Black Lightning.
What's it called?
Black Lightning.
Okay, I know. Yeah, it's a superhero movie. Superhero show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a DC show. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I might have to look that one up.
Yeah.
What's a misconception that people often have about you? Do we need more time for this one?
I don't know if it's a misconception. I'm not supposed to think.
Yeah, first thing that comes to your mind.
I have anger issues, but I don't think they have that. I don't think they think that anymore. But that was one that they didn't know how to approach me.
Okay. Gosh, and
they probably were just too intimidated by your essence, your power.
I think so, because I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Okay. Who is the first musical artist that you became a fan of that you can remember?
Buju.
Buju Banton. That's the island girl in her there.
Nice.
In here and there.
Yes.
We always take it back to the homeland.
I can't help it.
Okay, and lastly, what would you be doing on a perfect day?
The gym.
Really?
The gym
Perfect
or the gym or the park.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
One of
that's
the two.
good. That's good.
Yay.
That's good. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that-
everyone, man, this was wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Let's give it up for Dr. Kia Fisher one more time for taking the time out tonight to be here with us. It was
Mhm.
wonderful, wonderful talking with you tonight. Again, everybody, her information is going to be in the description below or in the chat if you want to reach out to her on all her social media platforms. She has a lot of wonderful things coming up, and we know that she's just going to continue growing. And we wish her all the best and all the love. To everybody that joined us tonight, we really want to thank you for joining us again. Don't forget to like, subscribe
Yes.
on to the SOP page. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks again, Dr. Kia Fisher.
It was a
Thanks again.
pleasure.
It was
I
a pleasure.
appreciate
So much.
From Vanessa and from me and from SOP, we love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful
We'll
night.
see you on the 24th.
Yes, on the 24th.
All right. Bye, everyone.